So, some pretty interesting news here. There is a federal bill that has been introduced by Representative Adam Schiff called the Generative AI Copyright Disclosure Act. Kind of a mouthful, but basically, it's kind of sounding like the exact thing that I think we've been needing. I think for the last year or so, I've been talking about a sort of show your work act or a law or regulation that says to any generative AI company creating music, art and text and film and anything else, video, that go for it. We love this technology. We want to encourage it. But if you're going to release it and you're going to commercialize it, we need to see the receipts. Your algorithm is literally worthless without high quality data. Where did you get it? Did you pay for it? Was there consent? And I think this bill seems to be, I haven't read the text of it yet, but from the surface, from the summary of this article, you can check it out below. It's a Billboard article. Seems like they're going in that direction. So let's just dive in here a little bit so we can understand kind of what's being proposed. On Tuesday, this last Tuesday, it's a bill that would require AI companies to disclose which copyright works were used to train their models or face a financial penalty. We'll talk about what that means. That is going to be a differing financial penalty. So Google or Meta would probably pay much higher penalties than maybe a smaller startup. So they do have that into consideration. The new bill would apply to both new models and retroactively to previously released and used generative AI systems. So this means that anything moving forward, any new models that get released to the public would fall under this law, of course. But it's also saying, hey, OpenAI, hey, Suno, hey, any of these generative AI music companies, this is also going to apply to you as well. For those of you that have not been putting on your websites and not letting us know where you're getting your music, how you're scraping your music, you're going to be forced to now through this law have to let us know. And how are they going to do that? Let's talk about that. The bill requires that a full list of copyright works in an OpenAI's model be filed with the Copyright Office no later than 30 days before the model becomes available to consumers. So basically a month before it becomes available to consumers, the AI company would have to list a full list of copyrighted works. Now, I don't know if that means literally like every song, or is it more of like, hey, we went and paid Audio Sparks, or we went and paid Audio Jungle or Pond 5. I don't know. That'll be interesting if they have to literally list every single piece of music that they use to train, or like every piece of text or article. Might be something that's impossible. I don't know. Maybe not impossible, but very, very difficult. We'll see how that works. This would also be required when the training data set for an existing model is altered in a significant manner. I'd also want to see, what does that really mean? So what is significant? That can be a subjective term. ChatGPT 3 to 3.5, is that significant, right? If Suno is creating, they had their version 2, and now they have version 3, is that significant? We got to get some specific language, especially for the different types of art, different like text, music, videos, film, that kind of thing. Financial penalties for non-compliance would be determined on a case-by-case basis by the Copyright Office based on the factors like the company's history of non-compliance and the company's size, so how big they are. And if they're consistently violating this, I'm guessing those fines and penalties will go up to basically say, hey, seriously, knock it off. Let us know where you're getting your data, okay? So generative AI is trained on the trillions of existing works, and often these models will scrape the internet for large swaths of content. Yes, this is the big concern. Some of which is copyrighted without the consent or knowledge of the author. And that's pretty much what we're talking about right here. Consent, letting us know, and probably compensating. That's what I think we're still trying to figure out. Can any generative AI model train off of anything online as long as it's publicly available? That seems to be like not likely, but that's still one of these sort of gray areas we haven't sort of settled out legally yet. The AI companies are publicly defending this, calling it fair use, but many of those works in the creative industries take the position this is a form of copyright infringement. So it's sort of back and forth right now. So just a quick video here. The RIAA, the Recording Industry Association of America, is backing it. And it seems like a lot of other rights, music rights organizations, SAG-AFTRA, writers guilds, that kind of a thing, creative unions, that kind of thing, are backing this. It sounds like a lot of people that are in the creative industry and the creative space are going for this. Without knowing anything about this specifically, other than just sort of these summary articles I've been reading, I'm feeling good about this. I'm not necessarily somebody that always wants to look to a government solution to a technological problem, But if tech companies and generative AI music companies are not being transparent voluntarily, and this is something that we have to do in order to force them to become more transparent, I am not against this. I'll just be honest. I'm feeling pretty good about this right now. My opinion can change as I learn more details about the specific bill or the language in the bill, that kind of thing. There are some gray areas here. I think we need to sort of suss out and figure out how we're going to actually do it. But certainly interesting. We are living in very interesting times, and I think this is something that we should all be paying attention to, especially if we feel like we are going to have a career making music for the sync licensing business. Laws like this will certainly affect us. So that's why I keep my eye on this stuff. I try not to get too involved in politics or the news these days, but when something like this peeks through and it's definitely going to be affecting us, I certainly keep myself informed on it the best I can. And that's why I make videos like this. So if you guys have any insights, different opinions on this, further opinions on this, post them below. I'd love to hear from you.